Success doesn't come from chance, and it's not about our credentials or defined by your past. It comes from getting in alignment, from getting in sync with timeless principles and irrefutable laws. In this video, I'm going to share 5 steps that helped me rebuild my life after my husband died. It helped me to grow a multi-million-dollar company and then navigate challenge after challenge with purpose. If you've ever wondered, where am I missing it or what's missing? This might be it. I didn't start a company because I dreamed of being an executive or an entrepreneur. I did it because I had to. It's kind of all I knew. I worked as a receptionist at an insurance company as a way to put myself through college. And then when I graduated, the company transferred me to Utah. My first night in town, I met my husband, David. 6 months later, we were married. Fast forward a few more years, we bought our house and we had our son, Johnny. And then suddenly, David is gone. I was a widowed single mom with very limited finances, never taken an accounting class, let alone a business degree. And yet I went on to build an insurance carrier, sell it to a national insurance carrier, and then remain a CEO. That wasn't supposed to be my path. Purpose paired with principles, it's a powerful force. Success, it doesn't come from chance. It comes from alignment, from getting in sync with right principles and right laws. That alignment, it became the foundation of pretty much everything I've built since. And I call this the audit principle. This is why about 6 years into building my company, I got notification that we were going to be audited. And it wasn't an IRS audit. That would have been a little bit better. But it was a regulatory audit. And that meant that the government was going to send examiners into each of my offices and look at everything, not just finances in every process, everything. Well, even though I hadn't done anything dishonest, see, my heart sank because deep down I knew we probably weren't ready. We had grown really, really fast. I'd made a lot of decisions, probably thousands of decisions out of urgency and instinct. And now we were going to be examined. So to prepare, I decided to do a pre-audit. And my strategy was I'm going to catch and correct. And I fully expected to catch a few things, just not what I found. Within a couple of hours, I realized we let things slip enough to possibly fail this audit. The minute I realized that, I found myself slipping into 3 stages. First one was denial. I just said, there's no way that we're that far off, but we were. Next, I made excuses, and we had good excuses. We'd had financial challenges. We had hostile takeover. In the midst of it, I was battling breast cancer. But lastly, I slipped into blame. And it was here where it really bothered me. People I loved and trusted, I started to think, surely while I was fighting for my life, so-and-so could have done this or done that. And in that moment, I had epiphany, a moment of truth. Here it is. Denial, excuses, and blame, they're not relevant in an audit. The only thing that matters is, are our actions in alignment with the laws that govern the outcome that we need? That one question became a turning point, not just for the audit, but really for my life. With the audit, we identified where we were out of alignment and we corrected it. We passed the audit, and that experience launched our company to a new level of success that I hadn't even dreamed of. That's how the audit principle was born. It wasn't in a boardroom. It wasn't from a textbook. It came from an audit that forced me to ask much better questions. Success isn't about effort or perfection. It's about alignment. Here's how the audit principle works. There are 5 steps to applying it. And I use the acronym AUDIT just for simplicity's sake. A is assess where you are today in relationship to where you want to be. See, an audit confirms whether your company is legal and capable of doing what it was created to do. And the same thing works with life, is where we are today, does it align with who God created us to be? And if it doesn't, we've got some decisions to make. This step requires honesty. See, if something's not working, this is where we admit it. I left my job not because I had this great new opportunity. It was because my current situation after my husband died no longer aligned with the life that I wanted for my son and me. You, in audit, understand your destination. This is where you really clarify what's important to you, what does success actually look like for you and the people that are relying on you. When you understand your destination, you're no longer living life by chance and default. Every decision you make going forward aligns with where you're going for. See, I didn't start my business because it was my dream. It was to fund my dream. I wanted a life that gave me freedom to raise my son and to support our dreams. D is decide the best vehicle. Once you know where you are and where you want to be, you have a decision to make, and that's choose what is the best vehicle that's going to get me there. Going to Hawaii, you're not going to lease a car if you live in the continental United States. See, whether it's a job, an investment, any decision or commitment you make, it should align with your journey and destination. I chose an insurance company because that's kind of all I knew. It became the vehicle that funded my son's education, our adventures together, and ultimately. So ask yourself, does this vehicle support my values, goals, and the destination that I've defined? I is for imagine. This is where you write the vision. It's where you create your plan, not just in your head, but on paper. You wouldn't build a home without a blueprint. You wouldn't take a vacation without a map and a plan that takes into account your budget and where you're going. It's in writing the plan that the plan becomes real. It gave me language, clarity, and confidence to share my vision. And I'd start to share it, and people began showing up wanting to be a part. Your written plan, it becomes your compass, your rally call, and your filter. And then T is see it through. This is where most people give up. But see, success is only inevitable if you don't quit. You'll face opposition for sure. You'll face fatigue, even moments of fear likely. But if you've committed to seeing it through, you will always find a way. Here are three things that will help you see it through. Lots of strategies, but here's three. Remember, it's not just about you. Others are depending upon your success. That helps you keep going. No, you're not alone. Relationships are your greatest asset. For me, I knew that God first and others were going to surround me and help me. And then three, keep your vision in front of you. Some people use a vision board. I used a cocktail napkin. It went in my orange juice, my drinks all day, and at the end of the evening. It represented to me that the sale of my company was coming. Success, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep on going. So let me ask you, where in your life or your business do you need to assess where you truly are? Have you clearly defined your destination? Are you in the right vehicle or vehicles to get you there? And have you written down your vision? And finally, most of all, have you committed to see it through? Because if you'll align your life and your business with the right principles, the life you want, it isn't just possible, it's inevitable. If this message spoke to you, here's what to do next. Subscribe to this channel. There'll be more videos on how to align your life and your business. Share a comment that will encourage others. And then pick up your copy of my book, The Audit Principle, to go deeper into how to apply this powerful framework in your life. See, you don't have to guess your way to success. Just align with the right principles, and your life will start to move with purpose.